What do you guys want to talk about?
What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Brian. With me always is that guy over there. That's right. I'm Mark.
Yep. When you see
right here in the middle of the screen, this gentleman, he goes by Jack Ashbury, but I'm going to tell you, that's not really who he is. Jack, who are you?
I've been known to go by as Batman or Batman of Springhill.
Fantastic. And so the first question we'd like to ask all of our guests, how are you doing on this fine day?
Pretty good. Kind of hectic. Had to get everything in line. We're actually flying out to D.C. in the morning tomorrow, so we had to make sure we're all packed, ready to go. Kids were taken care of, and so we're going to be there for a few days, but a really good day, actually.
Good deal. What are you doing in D.C.? Are you going for like the kids or?
Yeah, actually kind of both. But the company I work for, they told me that I am receiving a Star of Life award, which is through the American Ambulance Association for like my community service and my work doing EMS and everything. So they fly us out to DC and we're there for like 4 days. We do the Capitol Hill tour. We do all the really cool stuff. But I looked and my hotel is like 20 minutes from a children's hospital. So I'm going to do, best of both worlds, bring my suit with me and then do that as well.
That's super awesome.
Yeah, got lucky with it.
Let me ask you a question. You think you're going to get any looks when you go through airport security on this thing? Hey, what is this?
So this will be my third time traveling out of state. And I haven't had any issues yet.
Okay.
The whole suit goes in like the check bag, so I don't go through like with my carry-on and all that. So if they look at it, they're probably like, "What the fuck is this?" And I don't get to see it, unfortunately. But
why does this dude have a batarang? What is
yeah, I thought Batman had enough to get his own plane. He's flying economy.
Just this one time, sir. Just this one time.
Yeah, times are tough.
Jack. How did you get into doing what you do for the kids at the hospital? And can you elaborate what you do exactly?
Yeah, so basically anyone, and I want everybody to know, it's not just for kids who are ill. It's for anybody who needs like a superhero, boost. It really started because I used to work at High Octane. I know you guys are local here.
Sure.
I used to work at High Octane. And a family came up and they're like, we want to do a poker run for our son. He's got this, this disease that, we're trying to raise funds for. I'm like, how old is he? Got the information. I'm like, look, I got a bat suit at home. If you want me to just come say hi, bring him some gifts. Like, oh yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. And doing that got such a huge reaction from like my local friends. I'm like, all right, this would be cool to do. And that's how I started doing the visits. But the whole premise behind it is from personal experience as well, because I had my two daughters in the hospital for a long periods of time, and helping not only the kids, but it helps the parents as well. So it kind of went hand in hand for my love of Batman, being able to do this, personal experience of being in the hospital. Oh shit, my light went off. So it definitely just helps because of the experience that I've gone through.
Okay, Mark, you're gonna have to go back and edit that part.
I'm not editing nothing.
Mark's gonna go edit. That'd be fun.
It's not the first time somebody's been in their car and their light went out. We do that live normally.
We do this show live typically on a Thursday. So we are actually recording for Thursday when Mark is out of town. Mark's going to end up going to Michigan to see his family.
I'm going to go see my family. We talked about that before, Ian.
Yeah.
I'm not I'm not saying anything about that on here.
Let me ask you a question. If I could go to and help out with any of that stuff at the house, would I make a good like evil character? I was thinking. I mean, I was thinking. I was thinking the Riddler, but I'm bald, so then everybody was like,
Riddler has a hat.
Just wear the hat, man. That's all you gotta do.
Or you can go as the Grinch.
Yeah, the Grinch. Yeah,
that's a good costume.
I actually got the my wife got me the costume because I want to do the Christmas parade this year as the Grinch on the Navi. So
now I know what I'm going to throw stuff at this year.
You know what to look for.
Yeah.
So maybe Batman needs to be in the Christopher parade this year, huh? I mean, you live right down the road.
Yeah, I've wanted to do it. It's just I don't know. So my biggest problem is my entire adult life. All I've done is like fire and EMS. So like trying to run the nonprofit, I don't know how to do events. I don't know who to contact, get in touch with, or how to do any of this. And then also, I'm sure like an EMT salaries is shit. So trying to do all this with that is I would love to be in the parade, especially. The problem is like it's hard to move in that bat suit, so I'd have to have somebody drive me as well.
Yeah. So basically, be on like the car, just kind of waving, kind
of.
Yeah,
just princess waving.
Put a little Santa hat on top of the gear, and I think you're golden.
It'd be perfect. Yeah.
You wouldn't even need to have a Santa hat on.
I don't know who to contact. I don't know who to contact either. I do a lot of work with you and I have met briefly at Love Motorsports. You came in and I told you, hey, I'd like to get you on my show, and you were like, yeah, reach out to me. So I told Mark, I said, hey, reach out to him.
So I ran. Ryan tells me who he wants on the show, and I just run with it.
That's it.
He does a great job. Mark does a great job. Yeah, Mark does a great job getting us a really good fan base for one, because he's constantly on Facebook talking about, hey, this is what we're doing, this is what we have coming up, and then reaching out to you guys, our guests, because I think he does a fairly good job at it, right?
I think so. Yeah, did great for me.
AI is a wonderful tool. I know people don't like it, but I only use it to send a message. I only use it for that.
So what I was getting at was I don't know exactly who I need to talk to either about the Christmas parade, but I do work with with the Boys and Girls Club of Citrus County, right there at Love Motorsports, and I know that Nick D'Amico and Travis, those guys over there that run that, they could probably get us in contact with the right people. So I'll let them know that, hey, I have Batman if you guys want to help us out with that and get Batman.
Oh yeah,
and the Grinch.
We go every year. We go every year to the parade.
Okay. So this time you need to be in it.
Yeah, I would love to be in it. Absolutely.
I think it'd be super dope. Super cool. So, so not just kids. You don't deal with just kids that need a superhero. You actually go out to. Do you go to like the nursing homes and stuff like that? You reach out to them?
If requested, yeah, I'll go. I've gone to a few. I've gone to the Key Training Center. I've gone to daycares. I've gone to specialty daycares. And the one story that actually blew my page up was actually a local girl that was being bullied at school. So I knew she liked superheroes. So I reached out to mom and be like, hey, I can walk her to school, because she was, I think it was like kindergarten or first grade. And I'm like, I'll walk her to school so she can, the kids can see Batman's her friend and not, and like that. So it's anybody that, would need like that superhero friend almost. I've done one where their father, committed suicide and they just wanted somebody to talk to. So it's not just those kids that are in hospitals. It's really anybody that would need that. Yeah.
I could have used him like when I was 13 then.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of being that person you wish you had when you were a kid. Yeah, the exact same way.
Yeah.
Do you,
You're hold on, Brian, before you say anything. I remember that story about you walking the kid to school, and I wanted you on my last podcast, but my the person I was doing it with, he wasn't sure. And then when I got with Brian, I completely forgot about it. And I'm like, I'm glad that you told that though.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one thing I was like, man, that was, I looked at that story and I was like, that's an awesome thing. People need to be more like that instead of, more cynical than what we have now.
Oh God, yeah. And I actually had this conversation with my kids. I'm like, the world is evil. It's dark, and like that's all you see. If you go on Facebook, Instagram, the news, all you're seeing is the negative shit. So, spread some light and joy. I know it's getting that time of the season, but it shouldn't be just a season just to make
No,
everybody
it should
feel
be
good.
all year
Yeah.
round. I looked on your pictures on your Facebook, and I was like, oh my God. I said, so many kids, so many adults, so many older people, I should say.
He Facebook stalked you.
That's
well, I was trying to find picture. I was trying to find something to use as a background, so I ended up using this one.
Yeah, I had this one done, just like a normal Photoshop that I can't do, so I just commissioned somebody to do it. But I think it turned out great.
Yeah, it did.
I like the one that I used for the advertisement that says Batman's coming.
Yeah.
Or guess who's coming to talking shit. So, and then I got us sponsored by Yancey's Street Comics.
I seen that. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I asked the owner because I'm friends with him. I said, "So you want to sponsor us?" I mean, he's not really sponsoring us, but it's getting his name out there too.
Yeah.
But he was like, "Sure."
Yeah, so you guys are locals. So if the people watching are local, check out Yancey Street Comics. Where are they out of, Mark?
Newport Richie.
Look at
this. Is
this.
That the one at Golfy Square Mall?
Yep.
Oh man, I hate that guy. I love that guy, but I hate him. All the stuff that he has there, I absolutely love it. I can't go there. I get in trouble.
You're gonna buy
this. I want this. I want this. Yeah.
That is the only place that I go to buy my comics. And my toys that I have all hid for this. I'm using a green screen, of course, but I have a bunch of toys throughout here, mainly horror figures. But
yeah,
I mean, anything I need, he helps out with. He does great with the comics, and if I want him to order me a comic, he'll do it. Stuff like that. But Steve, he's a great guy. So anybody that goes in there, talk to Steve, or some of the other ones, they all know what they're doing. Yeah. But
let's see. You mentioned you're an EMT firefighter.
EMT. I just do the medical side.
Okay. So I wanted to be I moved back to Florida. I got out of the military. I was a damage controlman in the Navy, which is a firefighter. So I wanted to come back, and then I was like, oh, I want to be a firefighter. They were like, yeah, you're going to be a firefighter EMT if you do it. I don't want the EMT side. I just want the firefighter side.
Yeah.
I don't think that I get to choose though at this point.
No, it's gone to that. There are still some places that will contract or have a separate company to do EMS, but a majority of places you have to be fire EMT the minimum, then go get your paramedic. And I wanted to do more than just that. I knew pretty much if you're doing just the medical side, it's EMT, paramedic, and a majority of the time you'll either try to go to supervisor or go to bridge RN. I don't want to do that. So I'm just like, no, I don't want to do medic. I'm meant to do something more than just that. So
of course.
He's trying to hide his identity.
Love that light. I know.
I'm so sorry, guys.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. Where are you an EMT at? Citrus County or Hernando?
So I started my career in Pasco. Then I worked for Nature Coast EMS here in Citrus in 2010 until 2017. And then I took a little bit of a break and I started working again in Sumter County, doing the ambulance out there at about 2021. Yeah, 2021. So in between that break, I was working at a doctor's office that was out in Tampa, and then just it's such a hard change to go from on the ambulance, action packed, to sitting behind a desk. So I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
I gotta see the action.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, he could have been one of the ones that helped me when I had my seizure. I don't remember who it was. So it was at a bar. I was at a ball field when it happened. So.
Oh, really? How long ago?
Seizure?
2010. Yeah.
2010. I mean, it's very possible. That's right when I started. I think it was October 2010. October 2010 is when I started out here.
Okay, so no, it wasn't you. It was April 2010.
Do you remember anybody from? Do you remember anybody from Nature Coast EMS, which is now that's no longer a company. Now it's ran by.
Yeah, it's the county. Yeah,
the county. Do you remember anybody? Do you remember any of the guys that you worked with? Any of the crew?
Oh yeah, tons. There's still a bunch that still work for Citrus Fire. Some guys have gone to different services. Some do just medical transport. Some got out of it altogether. So it was kind of it was hard to see because we were all this very tight knit group with Nature Coast, and then when it got taken away, they tried their best to try to make it, but it just, to me, it's not the same as it was. Still great group of guys, love them to death, but it's just something else.
About does this name sound familiar? Nick McNeil.
Oh yeah, Nick. I know him very well.
He's actually married to my cousin.
Oh really?
Yeah. So he's I guess my cousin-in-law.
Yeah, technically.
Which cousin?
Sheila, the one that went to Lecanto.
Okay, I feel sorry for him now.
Just wanted to see if you knew him. I'm making sure that he gets to watch this show when it airs. So
yeah,
if you got anything bad to say about him, let's go.
No, I ain't got nothing bad to say about that guy. I love that guy. He's great. I believe he was either my relief leaving or I was his. We were in the Floral City station for a while. So I forget if I relieved him or if he really. I wasn't 100% sure, but yeah, I used to see him like every morning before work or after. So yeah,
I remember when I first came back here. I want to say he was working over in the Chris River Homosassa area, but he lives in Floral City. I was like, dude, that really sucks.
Yeah.
But it was the same when I was a deputy here. When I was a deputy for a little bit, I would work Floral City, but I lived over here on this side of town.
That's because they didn't want you close to home.
I needed to be close to home because then when I see the people that I know, I can just beat the crap out of them, and ain't nobody.
Exactly.
Where'd you? Are you from Florida?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Springhill.
In Springhill, went to school in Springhill.
Yeah, I was the first class. There's an elementary school. It's called Suncoast Elementary. I was the first class when it opened to go from kindergarten to fifth grade. So that I went to Suncoast, Powell Middle School, then graduated at Springstead, and then went to PHSC. So my entire life is in Springhill, Brooksville.
Well, that would explain why he's Batman of Springhill.
Batman of Springhill, yeah.
Instead of Batman of Citrus County.
Yeah, I
was going to say, why didn't you choose Citrus County? Because you're from Citrus County.
Yeah, so my kids, they still live in Springhill. They go to school in Springhill. I'm constantly in Springhill. I was born and raised in Springhill, so I just kept the name and just went with it.
Good for you.
Yeah.
The area that you live in, do you like it? Is it a nice area? And the reason I ask is because we just went through a giant storm, and I came by your area there. We weren't hit by any of it. We got super lucky when that tornado came through. We're right off Grover, Cleveland, so we were somewhat close, but not like Crystal River. We got super lucky. And then with the hurricane that came through, I was actually working in Sumter County because it had to be on call for that.
yeah, we got very lucky. We didn't get any damage or anything like that.
Good deal.
Neither did we.
Good deal.
I lost the power for a few minutes, but that was about it.
Yeah,
I don't remember. I just woke up and they were like, "Yeah, we had a tornado rip through here," and I started looking at photos and I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like the what was it, the dive shop? Their boat like flipped. I seen that. I'm like, holy shit! Yeah,
watching what it did to Crystal River. I mean, Crystal River was hit up bad enough as it was for the hurricane.
Yeah.
Tornado.
They got a ton of water down there. Restaurants had to close and stuff like that. And then right after we have that, then we have this tornado come through, just rips right from the beach. I think it came from the beach area straight up from Ford Island Trail.
Yeah, it was unreal. It was unreal. And then we got those emergency calls in the middle of the night. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. Kids missing. I didn't even look at it.
Oh,
and then
man.
I didn't even hear the phone go off.
And then the second one went off. I'm like, okay, that ain't right. So then I'm like, holy shit. And then a few hours later, seeing it actually hit.
Yeah, one of my customers actually was saying that because she lived in that area of Crystal River, and she was like, we would always make fun of those emergency calls, but she was like, when that thing started going off, we literally ran and jumped in a tub.
Yeah,
I was like, shit.
Yeah, they got horns and stuff, sirens and stuff in that area. We don't have them in our area.
That's from the nuke plant, but
No.
they weren't doing the sirens. They
should have done the sirens
through
too.
the phone.
They should have done the sirens
emergency
too.
Emergency alert through the phone.
Oh yeah, I mean, I didn't see that shit until I woke up in the morning.
Do you spend time here in our county? A lot. Spend a lot of time here in our county.
Mm-hmm.
What do you like to do in Citrus?
Oh, man, that's really hard now. A while ago, like I said, I used to work at Octane, so I'd go there a lot. What do? We eat a lot. That's really about it. My wife loves Seafood Cellar. We go there a lot. Coney Island.
Everybody loves Seafood Cellar.
Everybody loves these crawfish, man. My wife can't get enough.
Yeah.
We try to just be pretty simple. We're right down the road from the library. My older son plays soccer there.
Cool.
We'll go to the Fireman Park. We kind of just stay local. We have a little one. He's 4. So we really don't do a lot on the water just yet because he's still kind of little. But when the time comes, we'll go to the beaches and everything out here. So we're pretty much homebodies. We don't travel a lot.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't like to travel.
You own and I believe this is correct still, you own a slingshot, is that correct?
Yeah, yep. Mm-hmm.
How did you acquire the slingshot? Did you end up buying that, or was it a part of the nonprofit?
It was given to us through our nonprofit because we got screwed over for a Batmobile that we were told was going to happen. Mm-hmm. I was taking in donations. They were going to be sponsors, and I put that money towards it, and then they got all taken advantage of. So the Love Val Foundation reached out and they're like, "Hey, we see what happens. We want to help," and they gave us a slingshot. And I've been taking that, going to visits, and riding around at that. And then I talked to them recently because I had 2 instances where I was in the slingshot in the suit, and it downpoured. Soaked me completely. So so I still use it, but we're going to figure out a way to get an actual Batmobile. So we were talking about, trying to recoup some money from the slingshot.
Of course.
But it's still in the works, trying to figure out what exactly we're going to do, because I can't be showing up to the hospital soaking wet in the suit. It looks cool. It looks phenomenal. But it's, if I show up to the hospital soaking wet, they're probably going to tell me to turn around. So luckily it wasn't completely that bad, but gotta do something else for the summertime with how Florida gets.
Yeah, and we hope that you get a newer Batmobile, and I hope that it's something that's got a roof on it, something maybe a removable top or something, so that you don't get soaked.
Hey, Brian, if you ever get a slingshot at your store,
I have one.
Okay, I will take it for a ride and come get me so I can take it, so I can go for a ride in it.
Why?
Because I just want
it's nothing. I don't think it's anything special. Jack, how do you feel about it?
It's a very fast go-kart.
Okay,
that's where it looks really cool. It looks very cool.
Looks cool.
Yeah, but
sits very, very low to the ground.
Very, very low. So on the expressway, it's super sketchy, especially with all the lifted trucks around here. And to me, the steering on those things are so like tight and sensitive. One little jolt and it's going, you know. Doesn't ride the best, but like I said, they look very cool. They are very cool looking.
It's going to get a lot of looks. It's going to be like, oh my God, what's that? That's the Batmobile, because that's what it looks like. It looks
exactly.
I just want to ride in it once. That's all. I mean,
all right, come up to the shop. I'll take you for a spin.
I can never afford to have one, so. Plus,
I'll take you for a ride, Mark, if you want to go for a ride. Got to wear a helmet, though.
Gotta wear a helmet, yeah.
You got to wear a helmet.
Oh, man. My wife will say there's nothing to protect up there.
What besides doing Batman of Springhill, was there at any other point did you have any other superhero in mind, or was there a reason that you chose to be Batman?
Well, Batman has just always been in my life since I was a kid. Like that's the first superhero I remember having some kind of interaction with. The one thing that I remember the most is like my family took us to I think it was New Jersey for Six Flags, and they have like the Batman area, and they had like the live stunt show. I remember seeing Batman zoom in off the zip line. I'm like, incredible, you know, especially back then because it's probably 94, you know, they didn't have, you know, Iron Man, all that cool stuff. That was like the one superhero that stuck with me. And then also, it literally could be any one of us. There's no superpowers. You know, if we were all billionaires, it could be us. You know, there's nothing that is different from me and Bruce Wayne. You know, no superpowers, no serum, no mechanical suit. We're just a normal person who's crazy doing stunts and stuff.
I mean, he's got a point there.
Yeah, I feel like Bruce Wayne is still in his party phase. It doesn't matter how old he gets. I think he's still going to be that guy.
Yeah, that's why I like Nightwing, because you know he's the same way. No superpowers. He's, you know, a normal person.
Yeah.
Yep. Minus that he has more money than me than I could ever probably imagine.
You know.
But yeah, that's why, you know, I like Nightwing compared to most of the other ones.
All right, now this question is from somebody that I spoke with today at work, and they said, you got a list, or who do you think played the best Batman? And I said, okay, I'll ask that question. So I wanted to find out from you so that they can see
I get so much shit for this, but I'm kind of biased, only because my favorite comic, Mark, you'll know, is The Dark Knight Returns. You know, that big burly, it's my suit. That's what my suit's based after. So Affleck to me is like the best Batman, comic accurate. He is my favorite. Now I grew up with Michael Keaton. I got Michael Keaton's emblem on my chest. But I just feel Ben Affleck is the best Batman that we've had on the big screen.
I think he played a good part. I didn't think he would do a good job at that. You know, I thought he would screw it up or whatever. And once I seen him on the screen, I was like, okay, I understand now. You know, I'm still, you know, I grew up on, you know, Batman, of course, but, you know, mine, you know, you're always, there's always going to be, you know, the very first one, you know, that was not in the movies. He was the TV show.
Yeah.
But most people will say, you know, Michael Keaton is the best one. I didn't like it myself. I think it was, who was it? Val Kilmer did a good job for what he was given.
Yeah.
But he had tits, so there's that.
he had the nipples.
The old bat nipples.
Yeah,
the old bat nipples.
But, you know, I just don't like how they they went through it all. If you're gonna have Batman, let it be one person for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And when they started trading it off, it was like, man, come on, needed more. But when Ben Affleck took over the role, I thought he did a great job.
Yeah, I liked him better than the Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises. Batman Begins, Batman, I love that Batman. It looks great. His voice wasn't terrible, but the final two, Christian Bale, the voice was annoying. He looks really small and frail.
I like Christian Bale too. I thought he did.
I didn't care. Listen, I thought he was trying to overact the part.
Yeah,
the voice really kind of pissed me off.
Well,
it really did, and that's why I was like, oh.
That was the voice machine that they used, though.
But, was it a voice machine or was it Christian Bale?
No, it was. Well, it was probably both, but But what do you think about? And I already know what Brian's going to say. What do you think about Robert Pattinson's Batman?
Terrible.
So I think he did that new Batman very well. What a lot of people don't. If you don't read comics or if you don't look at it at all, you're comparing it to the other movies. But this is supposed to be Batman like year 1, year 2, just learning, So I feel like he's still trying to understand being Batman. He doesn't call himself Batman. He just says I'm vengeance or all of that. So he's still learning. The Batmobile's looks like it's just a car that he's modified that doesn't have any of the sleek stuff. So being a brand new Batman, I thought he did very well. A little long for me, but I thought it was good. It was a movie.
Oh, I didn't want to like it. I did not. But after I watched it, I was like, oh my God, I've watched it like 5 times since then.
Mm-hmm.
But Brian won't even give it a chance.
Pass. It's
gotta give it. Gotta get. I mean, even if you don't like Colin Farrell as the Penguin was great.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I didn't even know that was him because the makeup was so good.
Yeah, you can't tell at all unless you.
Yeah, you can't tell.
And his voice has changed. He changed it up, and Catwoman. You gotta love that. But the story, once you get past the first 20 minutes, the story goes by quicker, and it is better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I've been trying to convince him to watch, to finish the, almost for a year now.
It's the hardest 20 minutes of my life, dude.
So skip the.
I'm sorry.
It's it's got to get to the point where they they start showing who they picked as the villain.
Yeah. So Batman has the Batman call sign with the giant spotlight. If someone needs Batman here in Florida, in Citrus County, in Spring Hill, how do they get a hold of you? Do they reach out to you on your Facebook and all that?
Yeah, that's the best way to get a hold of me. I always have my phone on me, so I'm always going through checking my Facebook. That's where the largest following is, so I get those notifications a lot faster. And then on the nonprofit website, there's it's like a book me information. So if someone wants to visit, they can just go on there as well.
What's the website, Jack?
So the website is massmiracles.org. And it shows some of what some of the visits I've done, some of the news spots that I've been on. Has a donation link to donate to the nonprofit. Which the money we raise goes to families in the hospital to help cover bills, because that was something that I faced. When my daughter she was premature, and we were in the hospital for 3 months. But wow. Bills are still due.
Of course,
they don't care if you're in the hospital or not. They just want their money. So the nonprofit, we raise money. We go and help families. This past February, we gave $5,000 to a family that their son was battling cancer. So we just gave them, we're like, here, this is for you guys to help with whatever. I don't want to limit like, oh, this is only for your car payment, this is only for rent, so we gave them $5,000 and said, here, if you want to, this for fuel for doctor's appointments, if you want to take him to to Disney because spending time with your family, it's fine. This money's for you.
Sure.
Pay what you got to. This is all for you guys to help with the situation, because insurance only covers so much. And, even though my daughter was, she doesn't remember it. I lost time because I had to go pick up different jobs. I was working an ambulance in Medfleet that was in Pasco. Then I was working Nature Coast. So I was working 2 ambulance jobs at a time.
Wow.
And then their mom was down at the hospital, and it was in All Children's. So back and forth to All Children's and from Springhill. So, it adds up, and if only one person's working, it's funny because I'll see on like my Facebook memories, like day 612 or something like that until my next day off stuff. So like, it really definitely hits home and on why I wanted to do this.
Good deal. It's Masked Miracles. Is it .com or .org?
.org. Yep.
I just want to make sure that we put it out there on our Facebook page as well. And then on Facebook, it's Facebook, and then the Springhill.
The Batman of Springhill.
Batman of Springhill. That's right.
The Batman of Springhill. Yeah.
You also have a TikTok, is that right?
Yeah, I do. I'm trying
did not know that.
to get more. Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm one of those where I don't feel comfortable like making videos or so I'm trying to get out of my shell. So I have a TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I'm trying to grow that. The first goal would be to be able to live off of social media and then figure out what's next from that to get me to be doing this full time. That's the main goal, is to be able to do this full time, travel, go see different kids, and run the nonprofit. That's the goal that we have.
Gonna do a lot of TikTok videos. Lots of TikTok content. That's we got a couple of guys that have been on the show, and they're literally like, we make 2 or 3 videos a day, and we just got to keep posting content because you just and that's the thing. We want you to have a good following too. So even if it comes to let somebody film you just walking into a hospital or coming out of the car, driving the car down the road or something, I think that's great content because you get the younger audience that, oh my God, it's Batman.
Yep.
Not only that, but you get people that are sentimental that love that shit. Yeah. I mean, they love to, I like seeing, when the soldiers come home videos. I like watching those. Those are interesting to me.
Mark cries a lot.
You don't have to tell everybody. Come on. But stuff like that. It tugs on your heartstring. Makes you sentimental for that stuff, and it would get a lot of people's attention. And when
Mark's telling you to go out and tug on heartstrings with your videos. I'm just saying, just put the presence out there, like you're walking into a hospital, or you're going to a school, or you're going to
but
nursing home or whatever.
It's still you're still. It's people thinking of that, and it's still sentimental to them.
Yeah,
and
I got you.
People will join in and like it, and all that.
Jack, you don't have a lot of free time then because you work and then you're Batman. So what do you do for fun? You gotta do something for fun. And you said you're pretty much a homebody. Do you play Call of Duty?
Yeah, I'll play sometimes.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Whenever I'm not in dad mode, whenever I'm not in work mode, I will sit and just kind of research on how to make my Batman better. As bad as it sounds, I want the best experience and memorable experience for where I go. So I'm always looking at, what people are making, what people are doing, figuring out if I can do this. And then my mind will switch. Okay, what about how are we going to do a Batmobile? Okay, well, what about a new suit? Because I only got this one. Or what kind of gadgets? Well, if I go in the hospital, they might not like that too much. So like my mind is constantly, free time is constantly in Batman mode.
Okay.
And we actually, I don't know if you've seen, but my wife finally got her Wonder Woman outfit that we got. So now I have to look into Wonder Woman stuff, and then now I can reach out to different places because sometimes little girls don't like Batman, but they definitely like Wonder Woman, so that just helps expand us as well.
where'd you get the suit from? Can you disclose that information?
Which one, the bat suit or the Wonder Woman?
The bat suit.
So the bat suit, the one I currently have, is through a company called Unmasked Studios, and basically he's a tailor who now makes super suits full time. So he gets your measurements, you give him an idea what you want to do, and he makes it. The cowls are the mass piece are through a separate company, the belts through a separate company, the capes through a separate company. The problem is finding them now because Warner Brothers has come down so hard on these makers.
Yes,
that it's hard.
I was reading that.
Yeah, it's hard to find it now. Yeah,
they don't want you dressing up as Batman, Joker, anything to do with their superheroes. But yet, Disney and Marvel don't give a shit.
Yeah, Disney's really cool about it. Even the Desertland Auto Museum in Orlando, they have a Batmobile. They have two 289s and then one of the 95s. They're not allowed to advertise it, even though they own it and bought it. Not allowed to advertise it whatsoever. So WB is really hard. The only thing that I have going is I'm not selling anything, and I really don't do like birthday parties, so I'm not getting paid to be Batman. So I'm not making any money from anybody or giving a service. It's strictly as a visit from a superhero through a nonprofit. So I have that way. If WB comes at me, I'm like, look, I'm not making money from anything with you guys. I bought this stuff. Yeah, I bought this stuff at a thrift store. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
So you're not you can't make any kind of merch or anything like that says, hey, Batman of Springhill on the back of the shirt.
Right. Yeah. So now I can do that with my nonprofit because it's complete, that part's mine. And, I could do that. But as far as anything with the Batman of Springhill, no, I can't make anything like that.
Okay. So you're going to have to do a Masked Miracles shirt. Do you have some of those?
I'm working on some now, actually.
Okay.
You have a logo?
Yeah. It's like the two ends.
We got an idea, but we're not going to say it while we're on the air because when we end this, we got to have you stick on for a few minutes after, so it'll download the rest of the way, and we'll talk to you about it. About that.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else you guys want to talk about?
You just love saying that.
I do. Listen, I mean, Jack, we asked you to come on the show, and I hate doing like interview stuff. I really do, but man, we got so many questions, and I know that other people are going to be like, well, why didn't you guys ask this? And I'm like, man, I want to have a conversation with somebody. Like the other day, we had a great military show. It was fantastic. And we just kind of bantered back and forth because there was 5 of us from each branch and we knew how each other were treated in each branch. And it was a good time. Mark hosted the show with Heather as a co-host. They asked 2 questions and it was game on from there.
Well,
that was it.
I asked 2 questions in the beginning and then I think 2 at the end. That was pretty much it. I could have walked away and they could have had just, but yes, I enjoyed that show because of the fact that, I got to hear some of the stories that, most of the time you don't hear. I don't ask Brian about his days in the military. I don't ask, my brother, Chris, about his days in the Marines or, any of them. It was just, I just wanted to find out certain things. And, they let loose. And, I mean, they had fun on so many levels, so...
Oh yeah, it's kind of the same way with first response. That's why when I met you, you're like, I don't know if you'd really want to be honest. I'm like, look, man, I've been an EMT for over a decade. Like my humor is as dark as the night sky, man. Like it is not a problem. And that's the one thing that's kind of a downfall with what I do is, I can't be, I can't let people see that or know, or have that like, oh yeah, he's got that dark humor. He can talk like this. Because if they knew that, like they'd be like, yeah, what the hell's wrong with this guy? So, the exact same way. If I know somebody's military or EMS, I won't be like, oh, tell me your worst story about this or worst this or worst, like just normal conversation. And,
Oh, yeah.
I talked, I'll talk to anybody that wants to talk, because I know what that's like, that not having somebody to talk to, but it's somebody who's been doing it, like, whenever I used to have like really bad mental days, and my wife would be like, like, there's literally nothing I appreciate you trying to help to talk, but like what I have going in my head may fuck you up, and I don't want that to happen to you. Or can't really explain it because of, you didn't see it or you didn't do it. So having that person that's done it just makes life a hell of a lot easier.
Yeah, and my wife totally gets it too, and she's always like,
Mm-hmm.
you can always talk to other guys that she knows a lot of the guys that I hung out with in the military and stuff like that. So she's like, you can always call him, you can always talk to this person. So a lot of times I bend my ear to Mark, and even though he doesn't understand the military side of it, now I'm in sales. I work at Love
Mm-hmm.
Motorsports, and I have a great time there. But man, I get stressed out sometimes, and I got to call Mark, and I'm like, I vent to Mark. I come home, I vent to my wife, and then I'm like, you know what? You don't understand.
Yeah,
but it's always good to have somebody to vent to that's not going to, that might not understand it, but can also relate to some of the stuff that
right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's the same thing with like my guys that I'll play Call of Duty on with, like I can talk to them. But at the same, like, it's good to get off your chest, but having somebody that knows that feeling, like, like, listen, I've been there, I'm with you. It's kind of a little bit more reassuring. The one thing I regret is not going into the military. I wish I would have when I was a kid. But I think with the first response and fire, it's almost pretty close to that not 100%, because it's completely different. Was Army cavalry, and it was weird with me and him. Like, he would know when something was going on with me, and like he would just call, be like, "Hey man, just wanted to call and check in with you." It was really weird how we would go back and forth like that. And then when he passed away, it was just like, well, fuck. Now who do I have to talk to? So having that outlet is really good too.
Yeah.
I wish I would have done the military yet. I had actually took the ASAP test, but I also then my wife was pregnant, and I talked myself out of it.
Yeah.
You got married right after high school, you ding dong.
No, Karen had the baby first.
Whichever. At least I joined the military and then got married. I mean,
but I already had a kid before that, but that was with a different girl.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Mark's a player.
Hey,
or at least in high school he was.
He's domesticated now.
Yeah, very. 25 years. 25 years I've been with my wife. Very domesticated.
Well, congratulations, man.
So have you tried any of the local food trucks? The only reason I'm asking is because my wife owns a food truck. My wife and my daughter own a food truck called Tasty Buds. Don't know if you've ever heard of them.
I have not.
They'd love to have you come in costume one day. Maybe get a picture in front of the food truck if you're ever out in their area. They're on Facebook, Tasty Buds Food Truck, if you want to check them out. And my daughter actually, I think, follows you on Facebook, maybe even Instagram. I'm not sure. Are you frozen? Did we lose him?
I think he got frozen.
Oh boy. Oh, there you go. You're not frozen now.
All right. Well, I'm gonna give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna go inside. I don't care what my wife says. We're still gonna do this. Tired of the light going on and off.
I gotcha. So you got to edit this part.
Yeah, this part you'll have to edit.
I gotta go. I'll be leaving tomorrow, so I'm not editing nothing.
Edit it.
Yeah.
Fix it.
I'll tell you what to edit.
Just cut that section out. That's all. It's easy.
I was losing service, so I gotta finish in here. Okay, is that better?
That's better. We won't keep you much longer. I know you got a plan. You got a plan.
Perfectly fine.
You guys are leaving for Washington tomorrow. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. We hope you have a safe trip doing that too.
I appreciate it. I'll be posting pictures. But yeah, tell me about your wife's food truck.
So it's Tasty Bud's food truck. They're locally grown here in Citrus County. And they're doing the Oddities Market tomorrow. Yeah, today they were at the Walk of Arts. That's hosted by Twisted Ink.
Cool.
If you know Danny and Alicia from Twisted Ink.
I know. Yeah, I know of Twisted Ink, but I don't know them personally.
Okay.
Right.
They host the new what they call the Cooter Fest. It's Cooter Carnival now and Walk of Arts and that kind of stuff. So if you get a chance, if you're in the area in Citrus County and you see that they're set up somewhere, if you want to come out and grab some grub, they'll feed you. But they'd love to get a picture of you in costume, if possible, in front of the food truck.
Yeah. What do they have? Do they have a Facebook as well?
Yeah. They do. It's Tasty Bud's food truck, and then it's in Citrus County. So
I'll send you a link.
Okay.
Yes, please do.
That way, it's spelt right, because I spelt it wrong the first time.
Yeah, because I know my daughter is the one that follows you on Facebook. She was the first one to tell me, like, Dad, you got to get him on the show.
Awesome.
I was like, okay. So I started doing my research, and I was like, Mark, what do you think? We got to get a superhero on the show. What do you think? And he was like, yeah, we got, I was thinking about that, and I was like, okay. And then you came in. It was simply by happenstance that you came in that day. Yeah. And I was like, holy shit, dude. So it all came together. So I was just like, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. We can do that. Like I said, I live in Citrus County now, so as long as I know where they're at, it takes me 5-6 minutes to put the suit on. So yeah, it could be done in a day. Absolutely.
10-4. Get your appetite ready. They do Cali style food. So I don't know if you know what carne asada is.
Carne asada? Oh, I know what that is. Oh yeah.
Okay. So my God honest favorite is carne asada loaded French fries. They are absolutely fantastic. So that's not everybody's favorite. She does a Cubandilla as a special. She does a Philly as a special. So it depends on what you like and what day of the week it is. And you can always text her and she'll shoot you the menu and say, this is what we got.
Nice. How does she like doing a food truck? I heard that's not very easy.
It's very stressful. It's not going to make her $1 million by any stretch of the imagination, but her and my daughter are their own bosses, and they have fired each other multiple times.
Oh, I can see that a lot.
But they do it together. This was their idea. This is what they wanted to do as a mom and daughter team. And everybody absolutely, so far, everybody loves them. And I mean, I brag about it because I'm almost 300 pounds. So I'm not really, but I could be in the next week or two if I keep eating the way I am.
My wife loves their food. She orders it just about every other week when they're there.
I can tell you, once you find a food truck that you like, though, it's really hard to pick any other ones and go, oh my God, I like them too.
Of course.
You're going to have like one or two, and then that's it. Everybody else is going to be
yeah, no thanks.
But yeah, if you're Mark, I'll send you the link for them, so that'd be
I already
awesome.
did. I already sent it to her.
Perfect. Check them out. Like I said, my daughter follows you. She absolutely adores you. So let's see what else we got.
I said thank you so much.
Absolutely,
it means a lot.
Sure will. Football, real quick. Are you a football fan?
I really don't watch sports, man. I actually went to, which I had no idea. The other day, I went to a G League basketball game, which I had no idea was even a thing. It's kind of just like the minor leagues for the NBA. So that was really cool. Okay. I'll watch it if it's on, but I'm not like I don't have no jerseys.
I gotta watch it.
Yeah, I kind of watch it. I don't really follow it. When I was working at the doctor's office in Tampa, we had a lot of Bucks players come in there, so that was cool talking to those guys.
That is cool. We've had a couple of guys that have lived here or have come up here. From the reason I ask is because we've had a couple of people in the area, and I don't know if you had ever run into them, but like Tyreek Hill is a wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins now, but he used to live up here in Citrus County.
Yeah,
Did
I
you
did
know?
not know.
Yeah.
I did not know that until
Yep.
you said it last week. I was like, holy shit.
We get some famous people here and there. Johnny Depp's father lives in Citrus County.
Oh, no
I
kidding.
didn't know if you know that.
That I didn't know. I've met Miles Teller twice. No, he's from the area.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would love to have him on the show.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, it was complete by accident. I think his birthday's in like February, but he'll come up here and he would go to the bar that I would work at, and he would just have a little section off with him and his friends, and I'd have to stand there and do security. So I never like interacted with him. I got like one picture with him like years ago, but met him twice. Nice guy from what my few interactions with.
How do you feel that Doug Doty sold High Octane? I mean, I wish it would have turned out that
Didn't he have
second people would have been able to run it very good and keep the.
I don't know. Yeah, it's very heartbreaking driving by and seeing a Napa there.
Oh, it sucks so bad.
That's where I met my wife. She was a bartender there, and I was one of the security guards. You know, that we had a great time there, and you know, I love Doug. Never did me wrong. I love Doug. You know, and I miss that bar. You know,
I think a lot of people
every time we get a good bar or someplace popular, it doesn't stick around.
It's very true. The only thing that's really, I think, doing okay now, I haven't been there. I really don't go to the bar scene anymore, but Kilo's opened his second bar. From what I've seen, he's been doing good. I love Don to death as well. He does a lot. But I think his second Kilo's is doing pretty well.
Yeah, the new Kilos right here on Grover Cleveland. It used to be Deuces.
Yeah,
that's what bought Deuces.
Yeah,
out?
That's what he bought. Yeah, he bought Deuces.
I
Yeah,
haven't
because Keith bought Frogs, or I'm sorry, Kilos after he bought Frogs and all that stuff. So Styx is now over in the old Kilo spot.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
But
you can tell I don't know any of these because I don't go to a bar.
Mark doesn't drink anymore, so he's been sober for how
long? 16 years.
Good for you.
Nice.
From alcohol.
Yeah, absolutely. From alcohol.
I still drink every once in a while, so.
Yeah, if we go out, we'll go out down at Springhill. We'll have a few drinks there, but it's super, super rare if we have a family get together. You know, nothing like I used to before.
Do you go to the Marker? Are you a fan of the Marker?
No, I'm not a beer guy at all. Like
okay.
My favorite drink is Red Stag. I don't know if you ever heard of Red Stag by Jim Beam. And that is all I will drink. That is it. If you don't have it, then I'll just, get a Coke then.
Drink
I'm
anything,
very,
huh?
very picky. Like, I'm not a beer guy. Yeah, no, I have one drink and that's it. Now I'll do shots. Shots are nice. But yeah, I'm not a beer fan. I don't know what it is.
That's all that I used to drink would be Bud Light or, something that was on tap. But after me and liquor didn't get along.
Yeah. The only non-liquor drink I'll drink is probably like Twisted Teas. That's really about it. I won't.
Yeah, they're not bad at all, man. You can get twisted pretty quick, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, oh boy.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, okay. Now I know why I don't do this a lot.
Now, before we let you go and stuff, there's one question I have. Do you have a voice that you do for the kids for Batman?
No. And so if I have a kid come up to me and they'll be like, do the Batman voice, I'll lower my voice a little bit. But I've learned over the time. So like in the picture that's the background, my eyes are whited out. I am within the suit. I'm like 6'1", 6'2". I'm a big guy.